The NFL on EA Sports has come to the Twin Cities at U.S. Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. This is fielded a couple yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Here we go. Check.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Garoppolo. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. There for the sack, Everson Griffin.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21.
Bravo! 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. Right there. 54. Like your Omaha. 54 Mike.
Play fake. Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 12 yards there. 1st down Vikings. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Hey, exit.
They just do get the play off. Now Cousins going deep for Diggs. And got his man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Give him 32 on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Rudolph on the receiving end from Cousins. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Gun. Hey, no, easy. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Hey, seam 6. What is that?
Cousins on first down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Ringo 48. Check, right. Hey, alert 3.
They'll run with Cook. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Cousins now. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal. We're scoreless after 1.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Safety 48.
Here is Cook on 3rd and goal. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We're soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh, yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Here we go.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Garoppolo looks to throw. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman, and he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
Here we go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On first down, here's Breida. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Brings up second and 8 at the 41-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. Completes it to the tight end Kittle. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there for the Niners. 42 yards.
First down, San Francisco.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. It's caught by Sanders.
Here we go.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half. One that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. They'll try and power it in with Juszczyk. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a second and goal.
At the Vikings 4-yard line.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. Garoppolo gives to Breida. And across the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we'd put Baltimore number 1, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that Lamar Hunt trophy?
Well, tradition and us not wanting to be wrong dictates that we say New England next. And rightly so, because of the number of Lombardi trophies they've won, how they've always played at this time of year. But the bottom line to me is the prime contenders right now for Baltimore, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has gotten together and the defense is playing better. And Buffalo really showed me something when they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night in Week 15.
That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. So first and 10 now from the 30.
You ain't going nowhere. Good route here. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Hey, Echo. 54. Come on. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54.
They'll throw again. Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Leave it. Bring up 48. Mike spot 4. Mike spot 4. 3 buzz.
To the air again. It's Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things.
We got motion. Back up. 54.
Cousins again. And he fires one that's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where it's...
And he will score! Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, 75 yards. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They will run again with Coleman. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the 49ers have retaken the lead. Gold with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Let's go, baby.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They had seized the lead there for a little bit with a starting drive in the third quarter, but a moment ago the touchdown that puts them back behind.
So their defense is under siege a little bit right now because they have not able to solve their opponents. So they've got to keep hammering away on offense and try and win this one in what appears to be a shootout.
Looking to throw on second down. Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9.
Right there, 54, right there, right there. 50.
Gun!
Watch the slant! Watch the slant!
Hey, Haywood!
54.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Cousins now to throw on first down. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
10 more yards.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Kill. 49, check.
General West! Wide. Gun!
Hold.
Hey, wahoo!
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. It's complete to Diggs. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
That's right, baby. They don't want it. He's coming.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far.
Gun! Hey, receiver!
57. Mike, 57.
We ain't giving up nothing today!
57's Mike. Mike, 57.
Again, it's Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 8-yard line.
Here we go.
Let's go, D.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And Sanders has got it complete. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Garoppolo finding his tight end Kittle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. This is Coleman. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now Garoppolo. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And that will force a turnover on downs. Cousins now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down.
One. Zebra.
Hey, watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Go.
54 is Mike.
Hey, Ken.
54, watch 54. Danny.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Anthony Harris on the tackle.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd down.
Here we go. 180. 6.
54.
Yeah. You don't want none. Check 99. Check 99.
On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
A 36-yard attempt.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be